I'm going to quickly show you how to turn a baby bling headband, which would be the band and the tab, into 3 separate items. You'll be able to turn it into a Gigi, Jocelyn piggy sets, and this cute little flower pin. So I'll show you how to make the flower pin and the Jocelyn piggy sets in this video, and then there's a separate tutorial on how to make the Gigi. So you want to just first start off with the tab piece of your headband, and you're going to want to cut a circle out of the middle of the fabric. So I'm gonna use this soda can as sort of like a guide. You want to cut it a little bit bigger, but I just was thinking of something that everyone would have in their household to use as a guide. So when you have that soda can, just place it right like in the middle of the tab, and then you're gonna just cut a large circle around that. So that's going to give you this shape right here. So once you cut your circle out, you're going to have this shape cut out. And then you're just going to take the 2 ends and tie them in a knot. Don't tie it too tight. You just kind of want to tie the ends together and make sure they're kind of like in the center of the tabs. And I double knot it just to make it secure. And then you have this. So this is going to act as your tails to your bow. So see if you scrunch that up like that, you can kind of see the shape of the tails taking place there. So your next step, you're going to take your band and right along the seam on the bow, right here, you're going to cut as close to that as possible and just cut that seam out of the band. So then you have this long piece. So now what you're going to want to do is cut this logo out of the band to give you 2 pieces to work with. So give yourself maybe 1 centimeter on each side of that logo and just cut it right down. And you're gonna save this piece. Now, you're gonna have these 2 pieces left from your band, right? So one of them we're gonna use to make the Jocelyn piggy set, and then the other one you can use to make your Gigi. So you would just take this, if you were making your Gigi, and fold it down the center. And again, there's a separate tutorial for this, but this is what you would use for your Gigi bow, and then this is the piece that you would turn into the knot for the center of the Gigi. But again, that's in a separate tutorial that you can watch later. So now you're going to take your other half of your band and literally just cut that right down the middle of the piece to give you two pieces, one for each piggy. So you're going to take this piece now and just kind of roll it around in your fingers to get the edges to roll in. See how the edges are rolled in now? And then you're just gonna flip that inside out so the rolls are on the inside of that. And then that's what you're gonna use as your bow loops. Just scrunch like that. Then you're gonna take your tail piece and again, scrunch that in like that. And then place the bow loops in the center and then tie your place your tails in the center and then tie your bow loop around the tails to hold them in place. And then you have your bow, just like so. So your tails are coming down the bottom, and then you have your bow loop on each side. And again, you can take your fingers on the inside and just kind of fluff that out until they look the way you want them to. And I'm just using the different tail loops or tail colors because I wanted you to kind of see the contrast as I'm making this. But you can pull this out a little bit more on the side to get the tails to kind of hang down the way you want. And then this would be how it kind of looks from the back. And I like how they kind of kerchief out a little bit more than the other style of Jocelyn that I did. And then to make the flower, you're gonna have this extra fabric from when you cut the circle out of the tab to make the tails. I'm just finishing that up. So I thought to myself, what can I do with this fabric? Because I hate just tossing it away. So I just made sure that I had two separate circles. And then I took the two pieces and kind of layered them over one another. And then you're just gonna kind of pull from the center and kind of wrap that up like that. And then you get this cute little flower. And then I took the seam that I cut out of the band and wrapped that around and tied it in a really tight knot around the bottom of like where it was flowering. You can kind of pull that knot up after you tie it. I double knotted it. And then you can just cut the excess off of there. And then I cut the excess off the bottom as well. Like so. And then you can kind of just style the flower however you want. And then you're gonna stick a little bobby pin where the seam is tied around. So just stick it around the seam, and then you can just put that right into your baby's hair, like right where the ponytail is. And I have pictures of that as well in tutorials. So just a fun little option. I know it's not the best, but I just didn't want to waste the fabric. And then you can do like a couple of them in her hair if you wanted to do a few. I think it looks cute like that, like a little bouquet. And that's it.